I actually get a few phone calls here and there. I need to give you guys a shout, Bentley and stuff, whenever they have one of these street races at night.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
I'd go.
I got a shout here a while back that said, hey, Dave, Hartshorn, they're meeting tonight at 2 a.m. All right, episode 9. Everybody, welcome to Power Motorsports. Another eventful evening. We got Jaklene Brooks here, our lady friend, our first girl that we have here on the show. And Jaklene, I know we were talking about my wife. I guess let's just get back into that. She, to be honest with you, the situation with her was not just raising the kids, but I was like, what do you want to race? What do you like?
Yeah.
Which kind of car do you like? What kind of stuff do you like? And I actually had that old Volkswagen, that VW Beetle, and it was out back. And she's always liked VWs. She likes the little vans.
Yeah.
The little bugs. Love bug, stuff like that. And at the time, she had that convertible. Remember that, Joe? She had that 71. You not remember that? Little convertible? You may have been out of the house. Yeah, you probably were gone. Anyways, him and my parents used to live right down the road.
Oh.
So, but anyways, she had this little Volkswagen convertible, and I had that, that's a 66. So kind of older Volkswagen, stuff like that. And she said, hey, I'd like to have a Volkswagen race car. And I said, well, how are we going to do this? She said, but I want the motor hanging out of the front.
Wow.
And I said,
just a little bit of work.
Yeah, I said, you know what that's going to take? And she said, well, that's what I want. And I said, okay, well, she let me race for so many years.
Right. Yeah.
But I wasn't willing to argue with her about it. I mean, she's been very good about letting me race what I want to race. So
that's awesome.
I think you got to have that kind of relationship.
You really do. You really do.
So does your husband race?
He does not. He's more into firepower than horsepower.
Is that right?
He's a gunsmith.
So he likes. He's a gunsmith.
He is.
That's good to know.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
But he's real supportive of it. He was just like I told you, when I had little ones, I quit and stayed home and raised them. And my oldest son, he started racing last year, I guess the end of the year before that. Got him into a junior dragster, and I went with him a couple times, and I come home and I told my husband, I was like, man, I want to get back out there, and he's like, well, get you something and go, so he's really awesome when it comes to that.
Well, let's backtrack a little. You're from Sallisaw?
I am.
Okay, just, everybody doesn't know this. So you're from Sallisaw.
Yeah.
Have you always went down here to Outlaw, or is your dad a drag race? How'd you get into it?
Well, my dad's always raced. I mean, I was 4, 5, 6 years old at Tulsa.
So you grew up around it.
Yeah. So I grew up around it. Of course, my dad, he sold his cars and got out of it for a while too. And when I was about 16, he was like, I'm going to get her a car and take her to the drag strip and see if we can't get her interested in something. So yeah. I raced until, I got pregnant with my first boy.
Yeah.
And so I quit and took like a 10-year break and just recently come back.
So you're glad to be back then?
I am. It feels good to be back. Yeah.
Cool.
I enjoy it.
Everybody better look out then, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's the plan.
Well, I was telling her that, and I'll go ahead and announce it, but Cheryl Barker, my mother-in-law, I think she won Sportsman up in Tulsa. So
that's
she won
awesome.
the championship.
That's awesome.
Yeah, you guys better look out.
Beat her husband too, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's all, I'm not going to say too much. They are family.
Yeah.
I don't want the trouble, But yeah, she's deadly. So what are you racing right now?
74 Maverick.
74, and you said it was Dad's?
Yeah, it's Dad's. I have a 95 Trans Am that I was racing, and a 70 Chevelle that I've been building on this last year.
Ooh.
And I broke down in the Trans Am and did a whole bunch of work to it. So that took a few weeks off the Chevelle, and then took it back out and blew a head gasket, first round of eliminations in it. And so that's a pretty big job.
Yeah.
So I just parked it. I'm going to try to focus on getting the Chevelle done. And my dad, he loaned me his car. So
is your dad the mechanic?
My dad is the mechanic,
okay,
yes.
Because you said husband doesn't work on the cars.
Husband does not work on cars, yeah.
Okay, he's the gunsmith.
He's the gunsmith.
So.
I wish he would. You know, he's OCD when it comes to machine, you know, and stuff. And if he would get it, I'm like, man, you know, everybody needs a good machinist. But no, he's just not interested in that kind of stuff, you know.
Well, it is what it is. Everybody has their cup of tea. I mean, I like guns too.
No.
So my wife says I like everything.
Well, yeah.
She says, you know, I like fish and hunt, and I like guns, and I don't know. I like a little bit of everything. So is your dad out there racing?
He is.
What's he run?
Right now, since I've got his car, he's in a 92 Thunderbird.
92 Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is it pretty quick or not really?
No, not really. He's always joking around. It's Jack's not so fast racing, you know.
Jack's not so fast racing.
Costs a lot of money to run fast. And
where's your dad's shop at?
It's on North 59 Highway, just it's like a mile on the right past 101.
I'm trying to remember where. Okay, past 101. So 59 north of Salsall. 101, doesn't that cut back towards Sequoia Cabin?
It does. You just pass 101, and he's on 59 on that hill on your right-hand side.
I think I know. I think I've talked to your dad.
You probably have.
Yeah. He's got some cars lined up out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bunch of cars lined up out there.
And doesn't he have a dragster inside?
He did, but...
Because it's been about a year since I've seen him.
He got rid of that.
Did he?
He did.
That ain't what Bentley's got,
is it? It is.
God, it's a small world. Yeah, Bentley's. Oh, man. Yeah, because I seen it about a year ago. And I think I was asking your dad. I was asking him about something. And then we got to talking about racing. Mm-hmm. And then we looked at the dragster.
Yeah.
That's cool stuff, though. So is that his old dragster?
No, he's never drove a dragster, and there for like a second, he decided that he wanted to try, you know, and so we bought that dragster off of a fella by the name of Alan that races up at Centerville, and he went to a door car, and then Dad just lost interest, and it just cost so much money to build them, and
well, I mean I've seen a few of those rail jobs for like 25,000. Yeah. So, well, you know, door slammers now, my God, they're high dollar too.
Yes. Yeah. All you need is money.
Yeah.
You can go as fast as you can afford to, you know.
Well, yeah. Yeah, that's the truth there. I mean, it's definitely the price of things has gotten out there.
It has. It really has.
So the Chevelle that you got.
Yes.
What are you looking to put in it? Small block, big block? Do you know?
I got a 396 in it.
Big block.
Big block. Yeah.
Is that factory?
Yes.
Please don't cut that car up. God. I know. You said something earlier about not wanting to cut it up. Oh my God. Is it a super sport?
Yes. Yes.
No.
But
okay, go ahead.
I'm probably not gonna cut it up. See, that's the reaction I was telling you about. Every time I'd say something about turning into a race car.
396 super. God, dog. Yeah. I mean, I hear you. I mean, like I said, I've got one out back. You can chop up.
Chop that one up.
Yes. Oh, dear Lord. That's pennies on a dollar. Yeah. Now, where did you get the car?
I've had it for a long time. A really long time. Probably 15 years, maybe 20, something like that. It was always, me and my dad bought it. We went in halves. on it, and was something we were going to build, and then just got distracted and never did. So when I went back to racing, I actually jumped around on cars for a minute, which is why I got so far behind, because there's a 78 Chevelle that I was like, or not a Chevelle, a 78 Nova. And I was like, okay, so that's what, I think that's what I'm going to do. And then I seen like a 91 Camaro, and I was like, oh, I love that. And I had one. So I was like, okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So I hopped around a little bit until I was like, Dad, he was like, why don't you just do that Chevelle? I was like, okay. So that's.
Yeah, it sounds like me. I've got that old Chevelle of mine, and then I've got a couple of other old cars around here. And that's the thing. I've had them a long time.
Yeah.
I've had that one like 13, 14 years. I've had most of my cars for that long. I mean, Joe remembers some of these just sitting in a barn. So I'm just now getting to build them.
There's enough to build to keep a person busy for many years to come out there, just making a decision. And then, I started.
70 Chevelle. God, dog. But I guess you could, you could put it back nice and you could run it.
Yeah, well, I will run it. I'm too far in to come back now. Like, motor and transmission's done and in it, and there's
So who did the motor and tranny, Dad?
Yeah, he.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part. Yeah, he. I mean, I've been trying to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
But I don't know much about much. So anytime I get to a place where I'm like, crud, I don't know what to do here. I got Dad there, and he's like, all right, well.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like my daughter. Every once in a while, I have her come out here. And she'll come out and she'll take all the belts and hoses off top. She's only 11.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I try to let her get her, I always tease everybody. I said she'll be the good looking girl that is tuning her boyfriend's carburetor.
Yeah,
you know
that's
what I mean?
Great.
Helping him go fast. So, okay. So when do you think your car will be done?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Soon. I'm kind of in the home stretch.
So you got the motor and transmission.
It's got the motor and transmission.
Pretty straight?
Yeah. It's a pretty nice car. It's got a little bit of rust on like the trunk deck and stuff, but it's not bad. It needs paint. That'll come later.
Gotcha.
But really all I like to pull it in and out is hook up the ignition and hook up the shifter, and then I should be able to pull it in and out. And from there, it's just cooling system and dropping the gas tank, making sure it's not got a bunch of junk in it, and then a little bit of front end work and a little bit of rear end work, and
did y'all do a little something to the motor? A little bit? A little love? Or Dad did?
It come apart and got completely gone through, and then put back together. It's not real souped up though. I mean,
gotcha.
From what I understand, it's supposed to run probably around 8 seconds, so it's not going to be like super fast or anything, but
still be nice.
It'll be nice though.
Yeah.
It'll be nice.
Yeah. So is it 4-speed?
Yes.
4-speed stick? Or automatic?
It'll be an automatic.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I know a lot of those SS cars were sticks too. So.
No, it'll be an automatic.
Well, cool. So right now, you got any sponsors?
I do not.
Are you looking for
Well,
something?
my husband, Hoots Gunsmithing, he's pretty much footing the bill for everything right now.
I need to get with him.
You should.
I need a gunsmith bad. I take everything all the way to up by Big Cabin.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Gunsmithing's kind of one of those things. It's almost like a lost art.
It really is. When he first opened up, he learned really fast that even the ones that are around here are pretty specialized. There's not a lot of just repairs going on. Like I've got a gun.
Now, what's his business called?
Hoots Gunsmithing.
And what's if you want to, what's his phone number?
Oh, it's 918-315-1585.
Okay. Yeah, he'll have that down. He'll make sure to put it on there. Yeah,
Okay.
I'll get a hold of him. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
Because my deal is I like to I go to some auctions and stuff and I buy old guns, and I like them to be gone through and refurbished and look new again.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And then I'll hang on to them. like my old drag car out here.
Yeah.
I traded 3 guns.
Oh, okay.
See what I'm saying? I use it as bartering.
Awesome.
You know, it sounds bad, but I do. And, you know, some of this stuff I'll buy, like I bought a 1896 little 22 Winchester, just to put stuff in perspective. I gave like $300 or $400 at an auction, and it looked rough, but it's a first generation. Fixed up and repaired, they're worth $2,400.
Oh, wow.
So I sent it to a gunsmith, spent $300 or $400, then I got 7 in it, and I sold it for $2,400.
Well, he does it all. He does the bluing, and he builds stocks. I mean,
he probably does some custom stuff too, don't
he? He's built two custom rifles that I know of.
So he does do a lot of machining, and he's got all the lathes.
He doesn't have the lathes there. He goes to another shop and uses the lathes.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Now, what's Dad doing right now? Because I had hell catching him.
Do what? My dad?
Yeah. So is his
he's driving a school bus.
I was gonna say, is his business open?
It is. It is. He's always saying he's going to retire. You know, he's been retired for about 20 years.
That's what I kind of feel.
And I guess he's about half retired.
So he's kind of tinkering.
So he's
tinkering with working.
He stays really busy for a guy that is half retired. You know? Yeah. He mainly just drives a school bus and works up at the shop, and I pester him about as much as I can to get him to work on my stuff, you know.
Well, like I told you, if you ever like sheet metal work, custom dashes, roll cage, stuff like that, you can holler at us.
All right, awesome, yeah.
And I know Bentley, he's talking to me about wanting a new body on that dragster.
Yeah, yep.
So I told him, I said, man, just bring it up, buy the material. We'll figure something out.
He's excited about that dragster. He's done painted the cage, and
you think he's really going to put it together?
I do. I think he will.
Do you?
I'm excited. Yeah. I hope he does. I really do. You know, he's been eyeballing it for a while.
I mean, I looked at it. I considered buying a dragster like that, one of them rail jobs, one time. But I just like cars. I don't know.
I'm a door car person myself.
I wanted a full body car. I felt a little safer in it too. And on top of that, I had ran against some dragsters like that. Door slammers are just as fast as a rail job now.
Yeah, they are.
I mean, what's the difference?
But them rail cars are super consistent.
Yeah,
they really are. I know a girl.
Well, see, in Centerville, you were talking about racing in Centerville. I had to knock one out of a bracket race with that Blazer.
Yeah, they're tough.
And everybody was like, "Thank."
Yeah.
The Whitmore boys.
Yes.
They actually said, "Thank God you took care of him, Dave."
Yeah. I'll tell you what. It's not impossible, but it is hard for a door car to take out a rail car.
Well, I ran a 000.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I was the only guy there to do that, so I don't know how in the hell I pulled that off. But, you know,
they happen.
Mary.
Yeah, so, they happen.
Well, what's your consistency? Would you say? Where do you? Because I have a theory on what wins.
Yeah, I like to stay in a perfect world. I would do an 025 or better, but I tend to not follow the plan sometimes and sleep at the light. I've done it before, but that's what I aim for. You know, it's what I'm always aiming for.
It's deadly.
Yeah.
I always tell everybody, they said, what do you think will win? I said, every time I've won, I either run 02 to 06. I said, somewhere right around in there, try to keep them all identical. I said, if you can run, you know, faster than tenths. I said, if you can run an 02, an 04, an 03, and 02, you know, keep it right around there. I said, you can get to the end.
You can.
Yeah, you're right, though. What a lot of people don't realize is it's easier to do with a factory car. To me, it is, than it is with a race car. Because the race car, you got to go out there and warm it back up. And I always made sure that. Now I bracket race very little, just a few times, but I did good. And the time that I did race, I noticed that I had to keep the oil temperature, the water temperature, everything identical.
That's the name of the game, is to keep it all the same every time. Well, and know your car. I mean,
you know that really
if the humidity is coming up, what it's going to do. You know, how much is it going to affect it?
It's like explaining to my father. I've been trying to explain to him, you know, on a real race car compared to just, you know, bracket racing a stock vehicle. I've tried to tell him that when you race a real race car, man, the temperature could drop outside or it could raise, and you'd be off 0.2.
Yeah.
Or 0.3. I've had it be a whole quarter second slower or faster. It can be.
Yeah.
And I've been like, oh my God, what is it doing? I had one time in Centerville, I went bracket raced. I kept launching too fast. I always launched whenever I would start to see the third light come on.
Yeah.
I'd hit it. So then I started waiting until the light totally come on.
It was completely on.
It was still red light. It was jumping out of the hole too fast every time. And I lost all day. I even bought back and everything and still could not get anywhere. Then I come down the next day. I mean, I'm talking, it was a Saturday, Sunday event. I entered Sunday, and I was just upset. I was like, what the hell's wrong with me? What am I doing here? And I go out there and run. And to be honest with you, come out deadly. Made it to the bottom 8 guys, and I was racing against Whitmore and all of them. Yeah. And we were kicking ass, and no, I think we made it in the bottom 4. We made it to the semifinals. Yeah. And it was for money. And I thought, okay, after this race, I'm going to at least get $800.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right. And I lost that one. We made it all the way into the night. And, but yeah, and I was the day before. I don't know if the air temperature or if they had too much sticky shit on the track. I don't know what was happening. The truck was it was a monster out of the hole. Now, if I'd raced heads up, I'd been on the money.
Right.
But what happened was I could not figure out to get it to quit red lighting. It red light the whole day.
Sometimes it happens. Last time I was at the track, I lost with a 002 red light, bought back, and lost on a 004 red light. I mean, when some of these guys have gotten so good that you really need to be dead on. And when you run a chance on red lighting.
And gals.
And gals, yeah. And gals.
Like old Cheryl.
Yeah.
She's deadly. I know whenever the comments come up to me, like I hear that father-in-law and mother-in-law fixing to race against each other, I'm like, boy, Harry, better watch her. She's got quick hands or something. She's quick with that foot. Son of a gun. And that's, and I'm being for real, and people don't know this out there on YouTube. They need to look that up. That like the hunting to the shooting to spotting wildlife to even racing. Women's reaction times are the breathing's what my dad told me. My dad is he's a retired police officer, but he was also part of some sniper stuff, and he said it's crazy whenever he said there was several women snipers on there, and we had to research it with them, that their breathing was more consistent and they could take better shots. And I kind of thought, oh yeah, whatever. Me and my wife's been together 18 years. And to be honest with you, I mean, she's deadly with a rifle. I better not piss her off. You know what I mean? Crazy stuff. So do you like guns? You're married to a gunsmith?
They're all right.
You got you an AR-15 all pinked out? And
no.
Nothing like that? My wife does.
Nothing like that. Yeah, they're all right. I carry a little pistol.
Do you?
And to be completely honest, I know how to work it and it alone. I couldn't figure out half that other stuff.
My wife has a concealed carry too.
That's great. I think everybody should carry,
Well, I mean, there's so much shit on TV now.
There is.
All these shootings in schools. I mean, I was down here, and there was somebody that said, we think one of the not teachers, but one of the parents has a gun. And this happened several years ago. This happened 3 or 4 years ago down here at the elementary. And somebody was yelling outside. And all the teachers come in and they start locking the school down. And no, it wasn't the elementary. What's the one before elementary? Little kids. I'm going blank here.
Yeah, I don't know.
There's preschool.
Preschool.
Okay, the little preschool that's over there by Marvin's. They locked the place down and everything. And they come in and they said, hey, we think that we don't know what's wrong with this guy. He's one of the parents. He's losing control. He's nutting out. He's freaking out. We're going to lock the school down. Then all of a sudden, I'm in there with the kids, my own son, 4 or 5 years old. They come in there and they said, hey, you need to get the kids into the closet. I was like, oh, God, not this shit to me. You see the stuff on TV. You learn real fast, like for me, when shit hits the fan, if you're going to be one of those type of people that's going to do something or not.
Yeah.
And I know we put all the kids and the teachers into a closet, and I told them that I wasn't going to sit in that closet and wait on the son of a bitch to come in there. So I got one of the other dads and another one, and I got them outside there, and we locked that door, and I told them all, please be quiet. Yeah. And I told the other dad, I looked over at him, and I said, man, I need you on board. If somebody comes through that door with a gun, you just run out, you do whatever, I'll be right behind you. And he said, I'm on board. We'll do whatever we got to do. And I said, okay. I look over at the other son of a bitch. He's shaking so bad. He's over going, okay. And I was like, you ain't doing shit, are you? I can already tell. And he was the biggest one. He was over. I thought he was going to have a nervous breakdown. I can't believe this is happening. Oh, my God. Oh, shit. And he's freaking out. And we get in a closet. I grab a broomstick. He grabs like a mop handle. And we stand there by the doors, and we could see into the classrooms. We're in a hallway. The kids are locked into a closet. We're talking like 25, 30 kids.
Wow.
And come to find out, it was just an upset, disgruntled parent that was just screaming and hollering crazy shit. But we sat in there, and finally somebody come through the door, and I was kind of starting to freak out. And they said, hey, you guys, everything, coast is clear, all that. The cops were down there. That's how bad it got. And but I tell you what, it was a surreal moment when I sat there and I thought, and I kept seeing people run by the windows, and I couldn't tell who it was. And I thought, what the hell am I going to do when he comes through here? And in my mind, I thought, I'm just going to run wide. I'm just going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get shot, I guess. I don't know. I've never been in that type of predicament till then. And it freaked a bunch of us out. So, but just kind of wild stuff. That's why I got a concealed carry now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and then you see these shootings. Have you noticed when I was when we were kids, even you, there wasn't really there was no shootings or nothing.
No.
This was later on. I don't know what's happened. Second of all, have you noticed when there's a real bad movie out or something? Have you noticed how they've got cops there at the movies?
No.
No?
I haven't been to the movies, and I couldn't tell you how long.
Or movie people, so. But yeah, down at Malco, you've seen it, haven't you? Well, they got security and stuff because they got the purge out. They're afraid people are going to nut out, and I guess just crazy.
It's crazy.
So you got your concealed carry.
I do. Yeah.
So did you get yours because of dad or husband or?
My dad actually made me get it as soon as I was old enough.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Is dad an ex-police officer or something?
No, he's a mechanic. He just
thought you should have
just thought I should have one.
You need to be locked and loaded, girl.
Yeah. And then, I married my husband, and he was like, not only do you need to know how to shoot it, but you need to know how to work everything about it,
Yeah.
And so,
that's pretty slick. That's cool. So you're for it?
I'm for it. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, my wife is too. And that may be why we don't have as many problems in the southern states.
It could be.
Because everybody's got a gun.
Yeah. It's not really a gun-free zone, so.
No,
it's not, easy pickings.
Well, it's like my wife. Her family come out of New York. And they come down here and it's like, Dave, everybody has a gun, don't they? And I said, well, yeah. He said, do you know anybody that doesn't have a gun? And I said, no, I really don't know anybody that doesn't have a gun at the house. That may sound bad. But, we got to talking to her family. And I said, that may be what's the matter. I said, if you do a drive-by in the same neighborhood in Sallisaw, Oklahoma that you did 3 days ago, they're probably going to shoot your ass with high-powered rifles. You're not going to get away with that too many times.
Yeah, it's pretty normal around here.
Yeah.
Just about every household has at least one.
Yeah. So, hey, not to change subject, but Bentley, How do you know Bentley?
Oh, I've known Bentley for years, like since
Y'all
cruising town was cool, you know?
Is that right?
Yeah.
I remember when I first moved here only 7 or 8 years ago. We're from up by Tulsa. That's where we're from. And we moved down here, and I remember coming through town. They had cruise. Everybody was cruising. I had a big four-wheel drive with Dixie horns.
I was actually on the end of that. Like, I witnessed cruising town fade out, you know. Got to where they wouldn't let you park anymore. Cops would come up. Yeah, cops would come up and run you off, and they'd move you. They'd be like, well, you can park in this one parking lot. You'd park there for a while. Then they'd run you out, and they ended up pushing us plumb out of town, you know. And
well, I remember Southall Lumber.
Yeah. They would run us off, you know.
Go, hey, and I'd do the Dukes of Hazzard. I had a 10-inch lift on a big full drive, and they go, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I come through the town. It was a monster truck. It was hilarious.
Yeah, so like, you know, in my earlier, like, you know, finally getting driver's license, 15, 16, you could park, but I'd say within a year or so, you just kind of watched it fade out. And
was there street racing around here? I'm not from Southall, so.
Not that I know of. I mean, I'm sure there is somewhere.
See, by Broken Arrow and Coweta, we had street racing Friday nights.
Awesome.
We'd pull up there, and they had the quarter mile marked off and everything. We were betting money.
Wow, that's cool.
16, 17 years old.
Yeah, not that none that I was a part of, you know.
I bet there probably was.
There probably was.
Because, you know, I when we went on that Street Outlaw show, I know that there was so many guys there that said, my God, there is so many fast guys out of these little redneck towns in Oklahoma. Y'all have nothing else to do you? And I said, well, yeah, we like to, you know, do other stuff and drink beer and run around and, you know, we're good at 3 or 4 things. So do you like hunting?
It's all right. I can take it or leave it, you know.
Sounds like my wife. I keep trying to get her to kill a deer. She won't.
Oh, see, I went once. I killed one. You know, my husband was like, oh, come on, give it a try. I was like, all right.
Just didn't do it for you.
I shot it. It fell. I was tired. I was like, I left him to get it. I took the 4-wheeler and went home, you know.
Just like Heather. Oh, dear Lord. But the cars do it for you.
But the cars do it for me, yeah.
That's cool. See, that's Heather. She, my wife, she just, once, she went out there and ran down that quarter mile. There was something. She'd come in all just,
It'll get you. It'll get you. You get bit by that bug, and then you're just obsessed, you know. That's all you want to do.
And she hasn't got to really race her own race car. And I'm hoping I hope it ruins her, because the deal is, you know, we've only got 6, 7 more years. We ain't going to have no kids at the house. You know, these are my 2 little ones. I have 3 older ones that are grown. So,
man, I hope she gets it or gets in it and just loves it. And
I hope so too.
You know, goes with it for sure.
Yeah. Cause I just, there's no better feeling to me. Since high school playing basketball or something, you know, at a big event, I've never got that feeling back until I raced and got a trophy.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. I love racing. I just, everything about it. The people are great. You know, you got your track family. You can't.
It's family oriented too.
It is. I love that my son loves it. Now, if my youngest boy decides that he likes to do it, I don't know. I'm going to have to upgrade to get everybody to the track. But, yeah, I love it, you know.
So what would you tell girls that are trying to, you know, just watching their boyfriends do it? Would you tell them, get out there and your ass in that car?
Yeah, get in there and do it.
That's what I'd say.
If they offer, you know, if they're like, hey, I'd like to see you run down the track, do it, you know.
Now that you brought that up, you said that you drove Bentleys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, which one did the Love Rocket?
The Love Rocket, yeah.
Now, tell us the story on that. Tell everybody the story, because I like this. Because Bentley told me, he said, make sure she brings up the time she rode in it and drove it.
Yeah.
He did. He sent me a text a while ago.
He did, really?
He did. I can show you.
Okay. No, I did.
Yeah.
So I went out there and I rode in it first.
Okay.
You know, and he was like,
had you ever driven like a race car? Because that's a race car.
No, I've never been in anything super fast.
So that one was like your first.
So that was my first go round. I mean, my dad back in the day had really fast cars, but I was young. I don't remember them.
But this first one, you got to ride in and got to drive.
Right.
And you were like, wow, this is a race car.
Yeah. I rode in it, with him on the first pass, and he was like, get in it and drive. At first, I was like, I better not. I don't break anything. He's like, it ain't going to break. Get in there. So, I took a pass, and it's like, this is pretty cool,
Got the old blood boiling.
Yeah. And then made a second pass in it, and it's like, it's still pretty cool. And then he's like, well, why don't you hop in, and I'll give you a pass with a nitrous, And that was really cool. That was awesome.
I know. I recommend it to anybody before you die, riding a car with nitrous.
Yes. It nothing comes close. It really doesn't.
I try to tell people that. I'm like, it's not quite like the movies or anything. It's like the guy I told you rode my Blazer. I said, I need you to watch the tack and tell me. I knew he wasn't going to pay attention to it. I said, I'm going to shoot the nitrous. Tell me when I shift. When we were done, I said, what did the tack say? And he said, what fucking tack? You know what I mean? Like, what the hell? What just happened?
Yeah.
Yeah, is that how to explain it, kind of?
It's just awesome. I mean, I had 3 passes in the truck, riding and driving. And he didn't hit it offline. He was, a few feet out. And so I'm just kind of like, all right, we'll do it again. And then all of a sudden he hits it, and it's like, whoa, that was awesome.
That's what's cool. That's one reason why I like the heads up.
Yeah.
Is because you're trying to do everything it can do. And I know that if you could mix consistency, getting off the line good with that, oh my God. Be deadly.
It would be. I love the heads up racing too. I love to watch it, go out and
it is exciting.
Watch them run. It's very exciting. I like them, but man,
well, you're $396 now. If you just ARP studded it, put a set of Molly coated pistons.
Well, see, now I don't know nothing about nothing, so
you could put a little bottle on it.
Well, yeah. It's funny, Bentley was saying the same thing.
I know. Yeah. Everybody that's had the
thing is, though, is you can't run unless you cage them. You can't. I think it's 7.5. If you're any faster than that, you have to have a cage to run.
Sound like my Chevelle. I don't want to cage it.
And so I figure what I'm going to do is
what about a bolt-in? What if I told you that somebody could sponsor you a bolt-in cage?
I would say I need to talk to that person. Definitely.
Well, we'll talk later.
Okay. Yeah. I think right now the game plan is to just get it running.
Okay.
And it's not going to be super fast, but there'll be bugs to work out. I need to work the bugs out. I need to get it going straight, get it lined out. And then I could probably pick up another 100, 150 horsepower just changing the cam, intake, and the carburetor. But to do that, it needs a cage. That's going to be, I think once I get it running, I'll just have to make a decision on where to go with that car. Whether to keep it and take it all the way or sell it and try to get something that, I don't care.
Need to tell Pops to come off a little change. Say, hey, old man, you've had your time to shine.
Yeah.
Let's invest all in me.
He don't work like that. He's like, if you want it, you better figure out a way to get it,
Son of a gun.
Yeah.
It's good. It sounds like my dad.
Yeah, he's hardcore. I mean...
So what's he gonna? Is he gonna take your car back after you get the Chevelle?
Yeah, well, it's his car. That Maverick that I'm driving is his car.
That little Maverick sounds like it's kind of a little hot. Like it runs
it's fun.
good.
It's fun to drive. It really is. It's a little slow, but it's a lot of fun.
So have you already been to a few races?
Yeah, I won out here at Salsall.
Did you?
2 weeks ago. Last bracket race they had out there. Yeah.
Did you?
I did.
Man,
in that
these
old
women
slow
dominating.
Maverick.
Still consistent.
It can, man. I gotta say that car is set up right, and I'm always making fun of him. He's old school. He's like points, naturally aspirated, carburetor. He's old school, but I've got to say that car does its job. It runs its number. If I do mine, it will do its job. My Trans Am was a little temperamental. It's kind of hard to dial when you start out these cool mornings and then it gets hot in the afternoons and then along about fourth round, starts cooling back off. It would get a little difficult to dial the car in, but his'll run its number every time, you know.
Well, that's what I tried to tell my follow-on. It's like, you know, different cars are different. You know, he's asked his buddies, he's asked me, he's asked several of us, you know, why is the car, you know, why does it vary so much? And the deal is, old school race car, they generally do vary. And the more motor or the more souped up, the worse it gets. It's just like your Trans Am. It's probably faster.
It was.
That's what I'm saying. The more faster they are, it seems like the variables. It's kind of like when I build a race engine. Once I get above 600 to 800 horsepower, it's there's so much custom stuff to that engine. It's even hard to get the motor together. It's just it's a nightmare. I'm hoping that the next couple of guys that are coming up through the ranks here in Southsaw, I'm hoping that we get to help them build the next engine. So maybe Bentley will let me. He keeps talking LS to me.
Yeah, he's
wanting to build.
He's getting in on this LS stuff. You know?
And I am too. I mean, the deal is that was an LS in there, and you can carburet them. It's not that it's any kind of new technology. I just think that the biggest bang for your buck.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've heard. I don't know much about much, but that's what I've heard, you know, as far as...
Well, like the 396, I got rid of one here a while back. A small block LS will run just the same as that big block, you know.
Yeah.
There's really no difference on speed and stuff like that. And they're like the longevity, they last so long. So that's the deal.
Well, that's what I've heard is they're just a real good design. You know?
I mean, it's like if you get that car out there, I would probably LS it. I would LS it, and I would buy fiberglass body parts. I wouldn't. What if I went back with it?
I think if I decide on a different build, that's probably where I'll go. Just pro mod, small tire, just go all out. You know. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Remember what I said, Little Chief. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I
think it would be awesome. I really do. I'm up for it. You know, I'm up for trying it out. It's just, you know, getting it built and trying to learn everything. You know, that's another thing. I wasted so many years not
messing with
it and learning about it that now that I'm in building the Chevelle, I feel like I'm having to try to absorb so much all at once, you know.
That's me on the Blazer. I just got my Blazer back. Been out of it a long time now. And now all these guys are so much faster.
Yeah.
And thank God I've already been building other motors. You know, I'm not worried about the power. I'm more worried about the setup and the suspension. Because, see, I'm not wanting to build a Pro Mod. I'm going to try to leave it with the cage that's in it with the frame. And I'm going to leave it small tire.
Hey, that's awesome too,
I'm going to try to see if I can even get it near them. If I can just get kind of, because there is some guys that have small tire, small block, and they are bad.
Yes.
But boy, everything has to be on the money.
Mm-hmm. No, yeah. All of it's great. You know, doesn't matter where you go, small tire, big tire, Pro Mod, it's all pretty awesome, you know.
Have you ever seen any of those vents in person?
What?
Like the Street Outlaw stuff?
No. I've never went to any in person and watched.
I actually get a few phone calls here and there. I need to give you guys a shout, Bentley and stuff, whenever they have one of these street races at night.
Oh, so,
yeah.
I'd go.
I got a shout here a while back that said, "Hey Dave, Hartshorn, they're meeting tonight at 2 a.m." And I said, "No shit." And it was on the show. And they said, "No, I mean, Big Chief, all of them are here." And I said, "You got to be kidding me. They're down there." So, and the deal is with us, we just know some of the same people. And some of the people that are on there, I actually know personally. So that's really kind of, it's when you've raced your whole life, you know what I mean? You kind of, everybody knows everybody. Like you said, family.
Yeah, it really is.
You know what I'm saying? So has your dad been racing this whole time?
No, he took a break too, but he's been racing. He's been back racing longer than me. He just bracket races at Centerville mainly, and he'll come up to Outlaw sometimes and run out there.
Well, I wish you guys had a little hot car. I'd almost let y'all.
Hey, you and me both. You and me both.
Well, you got that one, but I doubt if your dad would let me tear it into a million pieces.
Yeah.
Well, I meant just like a little. We've got a couple of backup motors here that have been sitting too long, and we actually let one go out the door here the other day to let somebody just run.
Oh, wow.
So that they could run. So we kind of have loaners here and there.
Oh, well, I have plenty of cars that need a motor. I'm sure I could come up with something.
Your dad with all his cars. Yeah. Does he have anything out there right now that I need to know about?
Oh, no.
Sale?
He actually, everything's for sale. Are you willing to buy it? You know? He's got a Ford Ranchero stick shift car. And he's got that Nova, that 78 Nova. I know he got rid of a lot of the stuff that he hung on to for a long time.
Because I remember he had some pretty cool cars out there.
He did. I think it just got to the point where he realized that if he worked 40 hours a week, all 52 weeks a year, he still couldn't get everything done. So he started letting them go finally.
Sounds like me. I finally have come to the realization I can't fix this many up.
Right.
And my deal is I bought a lot of cars 10, 15 years ago. And I would pick one up and I'd be driving along, and 6 months later I'd find one for $1,200 or $1,500, and I bought them and put them in a barn. And I'll show you here in a little bit.
Okay.
Around back, we got, there's some other cool super sports. You'd be like, my God, what's he doing here? But my deal is we've been starting to sell them and letting them go. And they're worth a bunch of money now. Some of them I didn't buy for hardly nothing.
Yeah.
And there's a couple I did have to give some pretty good chunk of change for. So are you a Chevrolet fan? Ford? Dodge?
I'm a Chevrolet fan driving a Ford,
What?
Yeah. I've always liked Chevrolet better,
So dad likes Fords?
Dad's a Ford guy.
Oh, dear Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, nothing against them. I just... most people are one way or the other.
Yeah, well, to be honest, I there's something pretty in all of them, I'm not...
Exactly.
But I know Chevrolet better, and I tend to like the looks better.
To me, they're cheaper and easier to work on.
Well, they are, and they're definitely cheaper to work on. You can find parts. They're just everywhere and plentiful. And but my dad, he's a Ford guy, so now I'm driving a Ford. And what's worse is my husband, he was like, he's always wanted an excursion,
Has he?
Yeah. So now I'm using a Ford to tow my Ford, still swearing that I'm a Chevy girl at heart, It's
it is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. At least I'm racing. At least I've got something, to race. So
yeah, definitely. It's like me. I've actually been out of racing 4 years, and I've ran I don't know how many cars to this shop. I'm talking drag cars, dirt cars, show car, everything. And I've been watching all these cars leave and go and come in, and there'd be nothing there, and we'd build a show truck out of it or whatever. And it makes my whole heart hurt. I'm like, when am I going to get something? And I finally, what happened to me, and I know you may not know this, but I put money down on a brand new car. I took all the money I had for the last couple of decades of racing, sold everything that I had to buy one car. And I put down on the chassis and all that stuff. And I thought, well, this time I'll have, supposedly a professional build it. The guy took my money, took all my money and run with it. And I was like, oh my God. And me and my wife, this just happened about a year ago. And my wife felt so bad about it because I had waited 3 or 4 years that she actually said, hey, why don't you take your old truck, go get a loan, go borrow 30, 40 grand, and just go get another car. She said, you've been sitting here for 3 or 4 years not racing. She said, that's what you like doing. That's what I know you as.
Yeah.
I mean, even when we met, I was racing. I mean, she was 18 years old. I was racing. So that's what I'm saying. She's always known me to be racing. And make a long story short, I got the money from the loan. We rushed a car, bought a used one, and used every bit of the money. And about 3 weeks ago, I went into my first race. So in 4 years.
Well, that's awesome.
It was nice. The track actually welcomed me back. Said, welcome back, Dave Palmer. It's been 4 years, and all this. They were real nice
Now,
guys.
where is that at?
Tri-State.
Tri-State. Okay.
So, and I ran the car, which it's been a long time since I've been rounding around, and I built this new car with new technology that I didn't know nothing about. And it ran all right. The first 3 laps, I went from dead last up to about 4th. So it come to the front quick. So in 3 laps, so we were screaming. But started having issues with the suspension. So I got something off there. It started bending shocks and bending front suspension. I was going off in the corners too fast. So, but I built a hell of a motor.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's...
I was excited to get back.
Yeah, I'm excited to get in something else. Yeah, I'm
some?
ready to get it. I'm ready to get it done.
Want to get that blood.
Yeah,
boiling.
Ready to get it finished. Want to get excited. Maybe even be a little scared.
How many kids you got?
I got 2. I got 2 boys.
Any of them interested in cars?
My 10-year-old races, and
you were saying that.
Yes, he races junior dragsters.
Tell me about that, because I've thought about getting my daughter or son into it.
Awesome.
Is it pretty expensive?
It's bracket racing, so it's as expensive as you want to make it. Actually, when he first said he wanted to race, my little brother used to junior drag, used to have a junior dragster. And so he was like, well, just use my car, he can just use it, see if he gets into it. And I spent $15 on an old oil pump, like a motor that run an oil pump.
Yeah.
And set it on there and took him to the track. I was like, I said, you stick with it, because at the time he was 8, you know how kids are fickle, and it can be expensive. So he raced all year, like did not want to miss a race. And I felt so bad for him, because it was a terrible setup. I mean, it was just thrown together just to see if he liked it. So one of the other junior dragster drivers, she was much older, her name's Angel Neff. Her dad called me up, and he's like, we'd really like to see him in a better car. And his daughter, Angel, went to a new car. And he's like, so we want to get Joe in Angel's car. So I bought the body for an extremely cheap price. And then he did all the paint and body, and John Updegrove out of Arkansas built the motor for it. And Terry painted it. Showtime's Graphics donated all the stickers and stuff for it. And so this year we were able to put him in a new car, and it's a little faster. So yeah, it's... Well,
those cars, they're pretty quick.
They can.
I've seen
Angel,
some of them scream.
The girl that drove his car that he's got now,
yeah.
Her new one is faster than my Trans Am. I mean,
I've seen them run, I think, 6s. High 6 or 7s.
They can haul it.
In the 8th?
They really can. They can
haul it.
Yeah, like
I was shocked. These 12-year-old kids that are screaming. It's got like a souped-up lawnmower motor.
That's exactly what it is.
I mean,
it has to
they're bad.
Yeah, they have to follow the 5-horsepower Briggs & Stratton, like the platform. But other than that, it's whatever you want to do.
So what did y'all do with the old car?
It's at the shop. It's at my dad's shop.
Won't y'all think about come off of it so I can let my boy try it out?
Well, it's not mine. It's my brother's car.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he just loaned it.
I've been trying to think of something for my boy.
So how old is he?
He's 8.
He's 8. Well, I don't know. I could talk to him and see if they cared if he took a pass in it. I know Centerville used to have a track junior that they rented out. I don't know if they still do.
What's the age group? I know he's 9. Hannah's birthday's coming up.
They can start making single passes at 6.
Okay, so he's starting a little bit late.
Yeah, well, it just depends. Joe didn't start till he was 8. because Mama here wasn't comfortable sitting even in a car at 6. I mean, they're still kids, you know.
Are they pretty safe?
They are. I mean, you know, they've got they're pretty hardcore on the safety rules when it comes to the kids. You got your 5-point harness, your arm restraints.
Do they race like every weekend?
Yeah. Well, now Centerville races every other weekend.
I was gonna say,
but you can find
how in the world
Tulsa
am I
runs
gonna
them.
race?
Yeah. Well, you have to race with them. That's why. I mean, we all race together. You know.
Oh, that's cool.
I was actually running 2 classes. I was running street and pro. My boy was running junior, and I was running around like a chicken with my head cut off. Seriously, because I had just super pro to get everything done. You know, gassed up, everything that had to happen, and get him down to the line. And they can't drive back because, I mean, come on, they're 8. We're not going to let them just like take off driving. So you have to tow them to the line, and then you have to pick them up the return road and tow them back.
So you got to be down there with a golf cart or something.
Yes. So I was like, this is just too much. So I just dropped down to 1 class. So I had more time to work with him in between running and stuff. But yeah, it's great. You just got to race with them. You know, you just take them. Just about every track has a junior class. You know, Outlaw has been talking about doing a juniors only race, which I think would be really awesome. You know,
I just haven't bracket raced that much.
Yeah.
You know, to get into it like that.
Yeah, it's
sure follow along with him doing it so much. Him and mother-in-law.
Yeah, you got to get out there and.
That is cool. I never
Yeah.
thought of it like that.
Yeah.
I could see where you were running around with a chicken with your head cut off.
Well, now that I'm only running 1 class, it wasn't bad. But, you know, I was like towing him back. And
what about your husband? Was
he doesn't
helping?
go. He doesn't go. He's
I got you.
He went. It's funny. He said
Well, Dad's there though, right?
Yeah, my dad's there, and he helps out a lot. But he ran 3 classes. He runs Super Pro till they kicked him out because he was too slow. They were like,
"Hey, man!"
He was winning too. That was great. Like he was winning in that Maverick that I'm driving now. He was winning all 3 classes.
You said it's deadly.
They finally kicked him out because he was so slow. You know, and but yeah, he runs street and pro. He still runs 2 classes. So, but he helps out a lot. My husband went when we did the big reveal for Joe's new car. He had no idea he was getting it.
Is that right?
Yeah, I took him to the racetrack, told him he couldn't race because his car was broken.
How much does a good car cost?
You know, you can
just
get
to let
something
people know.
Depending on like something turnkey, ready to go, running 11 and a half seconds. You could get for anywhere between $2,500 and $3,500. You know,
that ain't too bad.
No, it's really not. Now there's definitely cars worth more. It's just how far do you want to get into it? The faster they are, of course, the more expensive they are. Joe's original car run on gas, just gasoline because it was slow. Yep. And this car runs on alcohol. So I learned,
wow.
Yeah. So
alcohol
I learned really quick.
Motor.
I learned really quick that the faster they are, the more maintenance they need, you know, because we just loaded up, unloaded it, filled it up with gas like every 3-4 weeks. It was good to go.
Like now a four-wheeler.
Now we're like, he's having to change his oil before every race.
Is that right?
Yeah, it gets
Y'all got the little stands and all that and got him all rigged out?
We got like a 5x5 wood block.
Yeah.
And I just pick it up and set it on there. And then my boy, he'll get down there and change his oil before every race. And
have you seen them, Joe? Oh, they're cute little deals. I mean, they're like a little full-blown dragster with the little motor behind them.
Yeah, they're awesome. Yeah. They're lots of fun.
I wish I could have done something like that.
I know.
It's like, shit.
Yeah.
Where was this stuff when I was little?
I guess maybe they had it when I was a kid, but I didn't know nothing about it, you know?
My parents were too tight. You know what I mean? That's all there is to it. They were busy having fun or doing their thing. So
yeah, it happens.
But that ain't bad. 25, 35.
No, it's not. And like I said,
what about for like a winning car?
Oh, any car can win. It's bracket racing.
Yeah.
You know.
It just depends on how quick your kid is.
It just depends on how fast.
There's got to be, what about on like getting it to hook up and stuff? Like, is there like, will they spin real bad off the line or?
No, not generally.
Or most
bracket racing is prepped track, so they usually hook pretty good. It has happened. You know, they can spin sometimes. But no, they usually just hook and go.
Wow.
Know?
So even the bad car hooked.
Oh, yeah. Well, the bad car could have hooked on anything. Sand. Yeah. wasn't a bad car. It was just a slow car. But yeah, and the new car hooks.
Why is your brother keeping it?
I don't know. Maybe he wants to pass it down to his son. I don't know.
Okay. I got you.
My boy actually thinks that car's cooler because it's got like a wing and stuff on
Does it?
Yeah. Yeah. The new one, it's more like the newer builds. It's more sleek and lower to the ground and
looks bad.
Yeah, you know.
Do you like it?
I do. Yeah, I like it.
So has he got his own little race suit and all
He
that?
does. He does. He's got a fireproof suit, his gloves. He's got the boots, the
strutting
helmet.
it,
Yeah, and he eats it up. I mean,
I bet he does.
Loves it. Loves it.
Race car driver. Yeah, I can't imagine Bubba. He'd probably lose his mind.
And the kids, man, it's a great group of just kids there. They all help each other. You know, they're the girl Angel. You know, she was 15 when she met Joe, and she could have easily been like, "Oh, get this little kid that's following me around and quit." You know, but she wasn't. She took him under her wing and was like introducing him to everybody. I love it. You know.
So you got 2 boys?
I do. I have another 6-year-old. He's not as mature as my older boy is, so it might be a little longer before he gets into one. I'll just play it by ear and wait until I feel like, okay, he can handle turning the car off when he's supposed to and stuff like that.
It's cool y'all do it together.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
It's definitely cool. So is everybody going to be looking for you next year in the Chevelle? Or
I hope so. I'm hoping to get it
over the winter?
No, I'm hoping to get it before the season's over, and I'm running out of time. I don't have a lot left, but it's that nickel and dime stuff that is
drives you nuts.
Yeah, and it's super just time consuming. So and again, you know, I've told you before, I don't know much about much, so I got to get Dad. You know, I'm like, come on, Dad.
Well, and there always has to be somebody you can go to.
Yeah.
Even my dad, I had to ask questions.
Yeah.
So had to. There's got to be somebody that you can lean on.
Yeah, they're
friends, family,
and I'm real
something.
lucky there. I mean, he's literally in the shop with me. But
that's cool. So is your car over there at Dad's?
Yeah, yep. It's over at Dad's.
I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Hey, come on by. Come check it out. You know,
I'm gonna have to. So, all right. Well, we're about to run out of time here. We're getting down to the nitty gritty here at the end. So. Well, thank you very much.
Well, thank you
for coming on. And anybody that wants to check out Miss Brooks here, give me a shout. Everybody tune in to YouTube next week, and we'll have some more people in here. So we appreciate you. Thank you.